It's a really tricky fishing the last few days. Lake's not done hardly any bites. Fingers crossed something's going to happen. And I've seen a few shows. I get this rod in, hopefully there'll still be there, and we try and nick a bite out the edge. I won't give up till I reel that last rod in. Welcome to Mainline Baits Carp Fishing TV, and today you join me at the Sanctuary Lake. This is part of the Essex Carp Syndicates fisheries. The lake itself is around 20 acres, has a really good stock of fish, probably 400 carp in here to just over 40 pounds. We got down here early this morning, had a good walk round. It's very warm at the moment, about 18, 19 degrees today. Everywhere in the area the fish have spawned and they haven't here, so it's fishing quite tricky at the moment because they've got other things on their mind, but hopefully they won't start spawning. We've got 3 rods out. There's a lot of weed in here at the moment. The lake itself is very up and down. There's gravel bars all over the place, but it sort of splits into 3. There's 2 big long bars go across the lake, making 3 sort of different ponds. The middle one is shallower than the 2 outside ones, so I've got a rod in each at the moment. There's a lot of eelgrass in here. Now eelgrass is it's got good sides and bad sides. When there's eelgrass, the carp love to be in it. So it does help with location. And the good thing about it, it's not strong weed. So if you hook one, it generally breaks really easy. I've got all 3 rods out with 22 wraps because that's sort of where the eelgrass ends and makes a really good patrol route for the fish. I've put out 2 Ronnie rigs and 1 slip D. And in the boat is a mixture of pellet, sweet corn and crushed boilie. So all 3 of the rods are in good positions. The lake's really quiet, so a move could be on the cards if we pick the wrong swim. We did have a really good walk round when we got here, and we did find some fish in the corner in some shallow water, but I'm pretty confident that they're not going to stay there. As the night comes on, they're going to push out, and with the wind predominantly hitting this bank throughout the session, I feel that we've got a good chance for biting here. Like I said, if we don't get a bite in here, a move could always be on the cards. I've just had a little walk along and I found some fish in the corner mudding up. And to get this rod in, hopefully they'll still be there, and we'll try and nick a bite out the edge. So there was a quick opportunity in that corner, but I think I was a little bit too slow to see them. They was there when I first got there, and then there was just mud when I turned up to put a rod in. I put a little bit of pellet in there because I feel that might do me a bite this session. I'll keep an eye on it. What a lovely sunset. Not much gone on today. We found a few fish in the edge, and it's a bit of a funny time of year, you know, they're coming up to spawning and these are on the edge. I think it's going to happen within the next week, and the fish are very tricky. They're not eating a lot, but if you catch one of the big ones, it'll be really big, and that's exciting. So although we're not getting the action you would normally get on this lake, it is exciting to be here. I've not had many night bites here, but early mornings can be really productive. So if I do get one in the night, it's going to be a bit of a shock, but fingers crossed, tomorrow morning will bring the sun and a carp. Well, as anticipated, last night was quiet. You don't get many night bites on here, but as this wind has sprung up this morning, it's coming into my face, and I've seen a few shows, and they're good shows. They look like feeding fish, so fingers crossed something's going to happen. It's been very quiet here lately, but the rods are out, the fish are showing. All we need now is a little bit of luck. Well, the morning spell has now passed. Unfortunately, I did lose one on my left-hand rod, and it was looking really good for a bite, but they've quietened down, so I'm going to use this quiet period to get the rods back on the spots, and I'm going to talk to you about what I'm putting in the boat. I'm going to start off with a hybrid, and it's crumbed up and it's got response pellet in there. I'm super confident on any of the baits, but the hybrid nacelle is probably my favourite. Now, this is crumbed up, this bait. And the reason I'm crumbing it at this time of the year, it's normally only a winter thing, is there's no tensional bream in this lake or anything, so it's just carp. So I've got the crumb there. Now I'm going to add some hemp and some sweet corn, and that will sit perfectly with the new clone hook bait, which is sweet corn flavoured and specifically designed for fishing over particle. I've put a little foam nugget on the hook there, so when the boat drops it, it doesn't pick up any hemp or corn and mask the tip of the hook, and it leaves it fishing very clear and proud. I've got a 6-ounce lead on, because the heavier I can get away with, the heavier I will use, because physics say it's going to pull that hook home a lot better. And the final touch, the Smart Liquid. This stuff literally is magic. I put it across there. This is the squid one, which goes lovely with the response pellet. It's going to fill that water column up, pulling loads of attraction down. Now hopefully the next time I see you, we're going to land the carp that we hook. So I've been using the clones on this trip, and because I've been using them, I thought I'd tell you a little bit more about them. They're new to the Mainline range and they've got a little bit of a twist with them. When you're fishing particles, often you can't match the hatch. So what Mainline have done, they've brought out a range of hook baits where you can match the hatch. So you've got tiger nut, sweet corn, maypole and nutty hemp. Now you imagine trying to fish a maypole on a hair at range, you can't do it. But we've brought a bait out that smells like a maypole. It's the same colour as a maypole, which means you can fish it anywhere you like. Then you've got the tiger nut. You ever wanted to fish a pop-up over tiger nuts? Now you can. Then we've got the nutty hemp. Smells like hemp, it's black and white, just like a bit of hemp, so sticks out on the bottom. Then last in the range, we've got the sweet corn. It matches the colour of the sweet corn and smells like a bit of sweet corn, so you're matching the hatch on a particle, which you've never been able to do before. Obviously, you can use these over boilers as well, but they've been specifically designed to use over particle, and the clones are super buoyant. So there's no dropping down after 24 hours in the water. They're still bolt upright on a pop-up. They're an absolutely excellent hook bait, and I believe they give you every option when fishing over particles. Well, it's been a long day and I can't say we haven't tried. I found some fish down in the corner, tried stalking them, then they went and sat in the weed. I even tried floaters on them, they took absolutely no notice. And yeah, sometimes you do everything to an avail, and we've got one more night left. I think there's a good chance for bite in the morning. I think what's making it hard, and always does this time of year, sort of end of May, is they're so close to spawning and they ain't really interested in food, but they haven't spawned yet. So we've got one night left. At the moment it's looking like a blank, but I won't give up till I reel that last rod in, so we're going to keep going and see if we can winkle one out. Check that out. It's all come good this morning. A lovely 25.5 pound mirror. It's been really tricky fishing the last few days. Lake's not done hardly any bites. We lost one yesterday. We've made up for it with this beautiful 25.5 pounder this morning. And there, when the lake's tricky, we still managed to winkle one out on the clones. So it's all good. So here's the rig I caught the fish on this morning, and I'm going to talk you through it. It's the Ronnie rig and it's dead simple to tie. I start off with a boom section. This boom section is 25 pound Camo X and it's a very supple coated braid. At each end I tie a figure of 8 knot. It's a very simple knot to tie. You can pull it down and there's no slipping in it, so it doesn't break the outer coating. At one end I've got an anti-tangle sleeve. The anti-tangle sleeve helps to kick the rig away from the lead when you're dropping it through the water. And at the other end I cover the knot with a bit of putty because it pulls the pop-up down and it adds to make it very neat. The swivel is a rotator swivel. On the rotator swivel it comes with a small ring. I clip that ring off so I've just got the loop on the end of my boom. Then you've got your hook. It's a size 4 medium curve. It's got a kick in the eye and really helps with the hook holds. On that I put my kicker, then I slide on the mini ring swivel, and then I add the hook bead. And then you simply slip it onto the quick change swivel, and that is your Ronnie rig ready to go. If you have a fish, it's quite easy to change the hook and get a fresh hook back out on the spot. Well, that's it. I've got a couple of more hours left of this session. We've had one on what's been a tricky day, so hopefully in these next few hours we might catch one more. If we don't, we've done all right. So the session has come to an end. It'd be easy to be disappointed with one fish, but it was a beautiful 25 pound in here. And it's been really tricky. The fish are on the verge of spawning, and I've no doubt that this weekend I'm going to get a phone call and this whole lake's going to turn to a jacuzzi and they'll be spawning. But for now, it's time for me to get on my way and go home.